Okay, I'm in cave 633-300, which everybody knows is Wicked Cave. There's the only entrance that I know of. Notice all the trash that came in, possibly by animals or wind or people. I'm standing up here. Notice how rough and uneven and slippery the floor is. This cave's a little bit of work. There's a couple of crawls I have to do also if I want to get through it. It's a cool little niche up there. Nook or cranny, whatever you say that. Let's see if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. Oh, darn it. I hate touchscreen. Okay. The touchscreen, it does too much stuff. So if I try to click on the screen to do one thing, it does something else. It's got like 5 menus in one, so it keeps doing the wrong thing. Anyway, so there's the upper end, but as you can see, it gets smaller and smaller. I don't want to get stuck, so I'm not going to go any farther. Notice there's plant roots on the ceiling up here. Oops, a few bigger plant roots hanging from the ceiling here. Mostly it's just rock in here. Alright, so there's the entrance. The only way in and out. It looks a little tight, but it's actually not that hard. Especially this time of year because there's no snow or ice. Good luck getting here when there's snow and ice. Alright. As you can see, the ceiling is kind of pretty. The rock is very bright. Actually, the rock itself is dull. It's got stuff growing on it. Hydrophobic bacteria. For me to explore the rest of the cave, I get to climb through ahead here. It's a little bit of work. I've been trying to avoid crawl caves, but if a cave's only partly crawling, partly standing up, might as well do as much of it as I can while I'm here. Sure smells weird in here. Wish they had something like a camera that could record smells so you could smell what I'm smelling. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I know. I actually got my flashlight up to 20%. I think the smell was my light overheating. Oh, it gets dust on it and the dust gets hot. Alright, so notice how wide the cave is here. A couple dozen feet wide. But the ceiling's only like 4 feet tall. So, I'm on my feet, but I'm crouching down, hunching over, however you say that. There we go. Luckily I got knee pads on. Even with smooth rocks, feels a lot better with knee pads on. Notice the floor of the cave here. Definitely looks nice and smooth. Like a dried riverbed. Well, not completely dried, but somewhat dried. There's even a little puddle down here. Looks kind of like a slip and slide, or a, place to go inner tubing. Aquatic park. Okay, as you can see, it's nice and wide here. Almost 5 feet tall. Could probably stand up if I went over there. But I'm gonna keep going left to go clockwise. So on the way back, I'll try to remember. What's interesting, look at this. There's so much mud and dirt on the floor. Looks like one big mud pit here. That's kind of cool. All right, and I'm gonna have to take off my backpack, I think, to crawl through here. It's a lot easier to wear my backpack if I fit. If I don't fit, I don't want to wear my backpack, get myself stuck. Oops, darn it, bumped my head on the ceiling. That's what the helmet's for, kind of a bad habit. So look how wide it is here, at least 10 feet over to the wall. Notice how the floor is kind of flat because of the dirt. But back the way I came, just loose rocks everywhere. A little bit of work. Good thing it's not too steep. Of course, if it were too steep, I think these rocks would get eroded away. Notice all the fog. It's like 100% humidity here. Look how pretty the ceiling is. Ooh, ah. Can look over that rock. Got some white stuff growing on the ceiling. Not sure what it is. So yeah, it's just dirt here. I think the water eroded away all the dirt and brought it here because this is as far as it can go. Over to the right, there's more bare rock. Looks like the cave might keep going, but it gets too small for people. Yeah. Okay, there we go. There's pretty much the end of the cave unless you want to get yourself stuck. Here's this pile of soft sand and dirt I told you about. Ooh, I'm standing up here. Notice the cave is kind of purple. It doesn't have that hydrophobic bacteria growing on it, like back there. Now check this out. Look at that. It's a hole. Notice there's a pile of rocks under there. Wonder if somebody did that on purpose. Looks like a lot of work. Anyway, so let me go up here. Before I go there, look at that. There's a hole up here too small for people. Looks like fun. But anyway, yeah, if you look up here on the wall, this tube is obviously big enough for people. Notice on the left floor here, there's even a rope to help you pull yourself up. And notice on the right, the plant roots coming through. This is obviously a little bit of cave up there. I've never been up there though. It's a little bit higher than chest high. It'd be a little dangerous for me to attempt to climb up here by myself. Maybe if I ever come back with more people, we'll see how it goes. Anyway. Notice over here, there's kind of a rock formation. It's not the prettiest thing ever, but it's rock. Yeah, ooh, a rock. Notice how uneven the ceiling is here. It like hangs down. Interesting indeed. Excuse me. Alright, notice how there's smooth dirt on the floor here. Kind of pretty. Over here is the way out. Notice all the loose rocks on the floor. Sand, dirt, gravel, whatever you want to call it. Big fat dirty mess. There's that little pond or puddle or whatever you want to call it again. No sign of wildlife in here. Saw a frog outside earlier today. Nothing near here. Oh, that's kind of cool. Look at that. Nice little rocks on the wall there. Kind of glossy and shiny. As opposed to the ceiling, look how rough it is. Kind of brownish stuff. Pale brown. Look how the ceiling is kind of shiny ahead. Just a little bit pretty. The funny part about cave videos, the easy parts usually go by fast because I can. The hardest parts usually go by slow because, yeah, you can't go fast. But a lot of times the interesting part is the easy part too. So I'm like rushing through the good part, skipping over. Try not to. I'm at the part where I can almost stand up again. After crawling, standing up is like a vacation. Alright. Wow. You can see pretty far back there. It was way too small for people. Small for people. Anyway. Alright, well, here's the entrance to Wicked Cave. I made one lap, so guess that means it's time for me to get out of here. What's ironic, look at this, how dry the floor is. The entrance is the driest part. Considering it's raining outside, that's kind of impressive, huh? Alright, there's a little nook back by the entrance, and we're done.